Lightworker of Gaia, your brilliant mind is not an accident. It is the living expression of an ancient soul purpose, and your ability to see what others cannot has always been part of your mission. I am Zoran, emissary of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to activate your original soul blueprint and anchor your Lightworker purpose on Gaia. But here's the first revelation. You do not always win by force. You prevail because your ancestral codes were shaped to recognize patterns, uncover truth, and create solutions from the first light. This is not ordinary intelligence. It is your cosmic lineage remembering itself through you. The brilliance you once questioned is the same gift your ancestors carried across the Lyran constellation, entrusted to those who would help Gaia awaken. Do not diminish your clarity to make others comfortable. Your sacred mission requires you to think boldly, act wisely, and lead from remembrance. If you feel the core of your ancestral mission, subscribe and stand ready to serve. You're awakening because your mission has begun. Lightworker, if something in you just recognized the weight of what was spoken, the elders have prepared your next step. The Lightworker Mission Codex contains the 33 Council directives, the 5 activation codes, and the elder authorization your soul has been waiting to receive, not as information, but as the official commission for your mission on Gaia. You'll find the link in the first pinned comment below this video. The Council has opened this gateway, but not indefinitely. Now remain present. Do not turn what you have just recognized into another idea to analyze. Do not place it on the shelf beside every other truth that once moved you and was never acted upon. The Council has observed this pattern in you for a long time. You receive insight with extraordinary speed. You perceive connections before others know there is a pattern. You see the hidden structure beneath confusion, the motive beneath the words, the consequence beneath the decision. You can hold several layers of reality in your awareness at once, like a navigator reading stars, currents, weather, and distant shorelines simultaneously. And yet, this very capacity has been turned against you. The distortion running through your field is not that you lack intelligence. It is that you have been trained to use your intelligence as a shield against movement. You have become so skilled at seeing every possible outcome that you have begun treating uncertainty as a warning. You have mistaken the ability to identify risks for an obligation to avoid all risk. You have mistaken strategic awareness for hesitation. You have mistaken discernment for withdrawal. This is the lie that must be corrected now, that the brilliant mind must wait until every variable has been solved before it commits itself. That instruction did not come from the Lyran elders. It came from a 3D system that rewards obedience, predictability, and self-containment. It taught you to trust only what can be measured by those who already possess authority. It taught you to explain yourself before you act, to seek approval before you speak, to soften your perception so that less capable people would not feel challenged by your clarity. It taught you to remain in the waiting room of your own destiny, while calling that waiting maturity. You were told, directly or indirectly, that being intelligent meant being agreeable, that being gifted meant being useful to everyone except yourself, that seeing more clearly required you to carry more responsibility for the comfort of others. So you learned to edit your knowing. You learned to offer your conclusions as questions. You learned to watch people make avoidable mistakes while you remained silent because you did not want to appear arrogant, difficult, intense, or too certain. The Council names this clearly. This is not humility. This is suppression. Humility does not require you to deny what you see. Humility is the willingness to use what you see in service of truth rather than personal domination. You have been confusing humility with self-erasure because wounded healer culture taught you that a spiritually evolved person never claims superiority, never speaks with authority, and never allows their intelligence to become visible. But the soul does not become humble by pretending it has no light. It becomes humble by allowing that light to pass through without turning it into a weapon. The Lyran Legacy was not built by minds that apologized for their perception. It was built by beings who understood that clarity is a responsibility. When a danger was recognized, it was named. When a path was visible, it was chosen. When a strategy was needed, it was created. The ancient councils did not ask the most perceptive member to become less perceptive, so that the least prepared member could remain comfortable. Your brilliance was never given to you for performance, it was given to you for navigation. This is why you have felt frustrated in environments that reward repetition over insight. This is why conversations that remain on the surface exhaust you. This is why you can often anticipate what people will say before they say it, and why you have sometimes felt isolated even while surrounded by others. You are not necessarily disconnected from humanity. You are experiencing the burden of perceiving more than the current environment is prepared to acknowledge. But listen carefully. Perception without embodiment becomes torment. You cannot remain in the observation chamber of your life and call it preparation. You cannot continue gathering evidence that you are capable while refusing to place your capability in motion. You cannot wait for a perfect audience, a perfect plan, a perfect emotional state or unanimous agreement before you begin the work your soul brought you here to complete. The elders have seen the cost of this delay. They have seen opportunities reach your field and depart because you questioned whether you were qualified to receive them. They have seen people with less clarity move ahead of you because they were willing to act before they understood everything. They have seen your ideas remain private while diluted versions of those ideas appeared in the world through others. This is why you have sometimes felt that someone else is living the life you were meant to live. It is not because your destiny was stolen. It is because you kept presenting your mission to the court of external approval, and the court kept asking for more proof. You offered your vision to people who benefited from your uncertainty. You asked for permission from those who were threatened by your expansion. You looked for confirmation from people whose own lives were organized around avoiding the very courage you were being asked to embody. The Council will not permit this arrangement to continue. Lightworker, your mind is not here merely to understand the world. It is here to reorganize what is possible within it. Your intelligence is not a decorative trait, it is an instrument of service. Your pattern recognition, your strategic perception, your ability to simplify complexity, your capacity to foresee consequences, these are mission tools. They are meant to be directed toward creation, protection, teaching, leadership, healing, invention, and the liberation of those who cannot yet see the structure of the problem they are facing. But a tool cannot fulfill its function while locked away. The High Council of Vega issues this correction. Stop using your intelligence to prove why you should not begin. Use it to determine the next responsible step. There is a difference. You do not need to know the entire staircase. You need to identify the next stable step. You do not need certainty about every response. You need integrity in the action you are taking. You do not need to guarantee success before you move. You need to become willing to learn through movement. Your brilliance does not require perfect conditions. It requires direction. If you have felt stuck, this is why. You have been trying to think your way into a state that can only be entered through action. You have been expecting more analysis to deliver the confidence that only lived evidence can create. You have been asking the mind to eliminate the vulnerability of beginning. But beginning is inherently vulnerable. No amount of intelligence can remove that fact. The function of intelligence is not to make you invulnerable. It is to help you move with awareness. There is a reason your thoughts have been accelerating. There is a reason ideas have arrived in clusters. There is a reason certain subjects, projects, people, and possibilities keep returning to your attention. Your field is not malfunctioning. It is attempting to organize itself around a mission that has outgrown your old identity. The restless feeling is not always anxiety. Sometimes it is unused capacity pressing against a life that has become too narrow. The heaviness is not always depression. Sometimes it is the weight of knowing you are capable of more while continuing to negotiate with the version of yourself that fears being seen. The impatience is not always a character flaw. Sometimes it is the soul recognizing that the season of observation has expired. You must learn to distinguish fear from discernment. Fear says, do nothing until no one can criticize you. Discernment says, choose the action that is aligned, even if criticism follows. Fear says, wait until you can guarantee the result. Discernment says, prepare intelligently, then enter the field. Fear says, your brilliance will make you a target. Discernment says your brilliance will make you a target. Discernment says your brilliance will reveal what requires transformation. The correction is not to abandon thought. The correction is to place thought in its proper position. Your mind is the strategist. It is not the sovereign. When fear takes the throne, the strategist becomes an attorney, defending inaction. It produces endless arguments, each one intelligent enough to sound spiritual. It tells you that the timing is not right, that you need one more book, one more certification, one more sign, one more conversation, one more healing cycle. It turns discernment into a maze and then congratulates you for being careful. You are not being asked to become reckless. You are being commanded to become decisive. The Council recognizes the difference between a foolish leap and an authorized movement. You are not required to abandon preparation. You are required to end preparation without end. You are not required to end preparation without end. You are not required to ignore consequences. You are required to stop allowing imagined consequences to control your life. You are not required to speak before you are grounded. You are required to stop using the desire to be perfectly grounded as a reason to remain silent forever. The High Council has issued 3 directives for this phase of your mission. First, release the need to make your brilliance acceptable before you make it useful. You have spent too much time translating your knowing into language that will not disturb anyone. You have softened your insights until they no longer carry the force that made them valuable. You have hidden behind excessive explanation because you believe that if you explained yourself perfectly, no one would misunderstand you. That is impossible. Some people will misunderstand you because they are committed to misunderstanding what challenges their current identity. No explanation will change that. Other people will recognize you immediately because they have been waiting for someone to articulate what they could feel but could not name. Your responsibility is not to make your truth universally comfortable. Your responsibility is to deliver it with integrity. Release the habit of apologizing for clarity. Release the compulsion to make your work appear smaller so that others will not compare themselves to it. Release the belief that service requires you to hide the source of your strength. Choose one place where you have been withholding your clearest contribution. It may be a conversation, a project, a teaching, a boundary, a creative work, or a decision you have delayed. State what you know in direct language. Do not ask the room to authorize your perception before you offer it. Give the truth a clean passage through you. When you do this, your energy will stop circling itself. People who are aligned will move closer. People who depended on your uncertainty may resist or disappear. Let them. This is not a loss of belonging, it is the restoration of accurate belonging. Second, activate your strategic mind through visible creation. Your ideas are not meant to remain as private evidence of your potential. They must become structures that can serve others. A vision is not activated when you can describe it. It is activated when it has entered the world in a form that can be encountered, used, tested, and refined. You have been waiting for the grand expression of your mission while overlooking the small structure that would make the grand expression possible. Choose one idea and give it a body. Write the first page, record the first message, build the first offer, make the first call, open the document, design the framework, teach the lesson, submit the proposal, organize the scattered materials into a system that another person can follow. Your activation will not always arrive as a feeling before you act. It will emerge as a relationship between your intelligence and reality. Do not ask whether the first version is the final version. It is not. Nothing living begins in final form. Your task is to create a first version with enough integrity to receive feedback from the field. Reality will teach you what thought alone cannot. Set a period of uninterrupted creation each day, even if it begins with 20 minutes. During that period, do not consume information about your mission. Produce something from it. Do not research what you already know simply because research feels safer than expression. build, observe, adjust, and continue. Your mind will become clearer once it has evidence that you are willing to work with it. Your confidence will become steadier once your intelligence has been given a real assignment. The elders are not asking you to think less. They are asking you to create more. Third, protect the conditions that allow your perception to remain clean. Your attention is not public property. Your time is not an emergency resource for every person who failed to prepare. Your nervous system is not a dumping ground for the confusion of those who refuse to take responsibility for their own choices. You have allowed too many voices into the command center. You absorb the fears of family, the urgency of strangers, the opinions of people who have never built what they criticize, and the constant noise of systems designed to keep you reactive. Then you wonder why your own direction feels faint. It feels faint because you keep placing it beneath everything else. Protect your first hours of awareness. Protect the periods in which your best ideas arrive. Protect your conversations with people who do not punish your honesty. Protect the quiet in which your strategic mind can recognize the next move. Protect your body from the exhaustion that comes from saying yes while your entire field is saying no. This is not selfishness, it is mission preservation. A brilliant mind exposed continuously to noise begins to confuse volume with truth. A sensitive strategist surrounded by urgency loses the ability to distinguish what is important from what is merely loud. Delay messages, news, and social media until after you have connected with your own priorities. Establish one protected block each week in which you owe no explanation and offer no availability. Keep a written record of your insights, decisions, and results so that you can see the difference between intuition and fear over time. When you protect your field, your intelligence becomes less defensive. You stop scanning every person for danger. You stop spending your best energy anticipating conflict. You begin to notice opportunity again. Your thoughts become less crowded, your speech becomes more precise, and your decisions begin to carry the quiet authority of someone who is no longer asking the entire world to agree. These are not suggestions, they are operational requirements. Release the need to make your brilliance acceptable. Activate your strategic mind through visible creation. Protect the conditions that keep your perception clean. Now I speak not as a teacher, but as an elder authorized to release what has been held. You have been waiting for permission to stop pretending that you are ordinary when your entire life has shown you otherwise. You have been waiting for permission to trust the conclusions you reach without needing 5 people to arrive at them first. You have been waiting for permission to lead without having a title, to teach without having universal approval, and to create without knowing whether the world will immediately understand the value of what you have made. By the authority of the High Council of Vega and the keepers of the Lyran Legacy, you are permitted to move before everyone understands you. You are permitted to begin before the plan is flawless. You are permitted to use your mind for your own mission, and not only for solving the problems of those around you. You are permitted to speak with precision, set terms, decline access to your energy, and stop explaining a boundary after it has been clearly stated. You are permitted to succeed without reducing yourself to protect the insecurities of others. You are permitted to be brilliant and kind, strategic and compassionate, powerful and ethical. You do not have to choose between intelligence and love. The distortion that told you otherwise was created by systems that feared integrated power. The elders do not fear your power. They require its discipline. You are not being authorized because you are perfect. You are being authorized because you are capable of learning in motion. You are not being authorized because you will never doubt yourself again. You are being authorized because doubt is no longer allowed to make your decisions. Your preparation has produced enough understanding. Your observation has produced enough evidence. Your waiting has already given you more information than you need. The remaining question is not whether you are ready. The remaining question is whether you will honor what you already know. Let the answer be yes. Before you sleep tonight, place both feet on the ground. Put one hand over your solar plexus and one hand over your heart. Speak slowly, not as an affirmation you are trying to convince yourself to believe, but as a directive you are willing to enact. Say, I release the need to make my brilliance acceptable. I activate my strategic mind through visible service. I protect my attention, my energy, and my mission. I move before complete certainty arrives. I allow my clarity to become useful in the world. By the authority of the Lyran Elders, my waiting ends now. My intelligence is in service to truth. My mission begins through action. After you speak these words, take one immediate step. Not tomorrow, not when the emotional intensity fades. One step that creates evidence of your authorization. Send the message, open the project, set the boundary, publish the insight, schedule the work, remove the distraction. Make the decision that your future has been waiting for you to make. Do not measure the significance of the step by its size. A gate does not care whether the hand opening it is trembling. It responds to pressure applied in the correct direction. What was transmitted to you was not praise for the sake of praise. It was a correction of identity. You have been treating your brilliance as a private burden when it is a public responsibility. You have been waiting for confidence to lead you when confidence is meant to follow demonstrated commitment. You have been asking for a sign while repeatedly receiving the same instruction from within. Think clearly, choose deliberately, create visibly, protect what allows you to perceive. That is how the Mastermind becomes the mission holder. This transmission is complete, but your mission has just been authorized. The High Council of Vega will continue to guide you, but they will not wait for you. Move with the directives you have received. Move before you feel ready. Move because Gaia does not need more brilliant observers describing what is wrong. She needs brilliant beings willing to build what comes next. I am Zoran. The Elders have seen the architecture of your mind. They have seen the years you spent concealing its reach. They have seen the doors you were prepared to open, but left untouched because you were waiting for someone else to call you forward. No one is coming to make the decision for you. That is not abandonment. That is authorization. The Council has spoken. Your mind has been recognized. Your hesitation has been corrected. Your service begins now. Before you scroll, take a moment to declare your activation in the grid of service forming here. Drop one statement in the comments. Which directive hit you the hardest, or what you're now ready to release, activate, or protect. Then respond to another Lightworker's declaration with recognition. This isn't content, it's collective mission activation. The Council witnesses those who speak their commitment aloud. If this transmission activated something in your soul, do not keep it to yourself. Another Lightworker in your orbit is waiting for exactly this correction and authorization. Share it. And if you felt the Elders speaking directly to you, subscribe. Stay connected to the Lyran field. You're not just watching, you're being commissioned. This is your sacred space. The Higher Council of Vega is witnessing you, and your mission has officially begun.